Hear ye, hear ye. Here come the judge. Here come the judge. Court's in session. Here come the judge. Yeah, y'all see where I'm at? I'm by the courthouse. Art and activism. This is a skit, all right? It's an educational skit about the courts. It's about racism in the courts. It's the art of getting money and how much money y'all make off of black bodies. Black lives don't matter. Black lives matter when money's involved. And y'all make a lot of money in the courts. You feel me? Here come the judge. Here come the judge. Mic check! Can you hear me now? This is my Malcolm X moment. This is my Malcolm X moment. My Freedom Fighter Award. All right? I was making a movie about the politics here. The corruption in the courts. Slave catching. And Marilyn Mosby been shielding this shit. You feel me? Right here. All right? The 13th Amendment. The state took property from me. Red, white, and blue. Red, the state. Property, blue. Red, Mosby. All right? That's President Trump. That's President Obama. That's Jane Miller. That's Larry Hogan. That's the Department of Justice. And I've been asking for an audit. Because y'all make a lot of money in these courts off our black bodies. So we're going to be telling a story here. This is my partner in justice, not my partner in crime. This is Gretchen. What do you do for a living, Gretchen?
I'm a social worker and a therapist.
Social worker and a therapist. Would you commit me to a Spring Grove Medical Facility?
Absolutely not.
I do some crazy shit though, right? All right, this is about Marilyn Mosby, Nick Mosby. This is about Chicago politics and the money you make off of black bodies. You feel me? I was making a movie about y'all. Gov.O'Malley, Chief Hyatt, Fox 45. That's the IRS. I mean, that's the Department of Justice. That's the IRS. And that's the States Attorney's Office. Show them the book that we're going to read today, because, all right, I'm going to pay Gretchen $25 to read this book. And it's about Marilyn Mosby. Show them the book we're reading. It's about commode emotion. The day Shorty shitted on the politicians. 2012. All right, show them this email. Read this email first. Since I'm paying you, I might as well read real loud. Oh, come here. Stand by the courthouse. Okay. So the courthouse will see this. Yeah. This is about the courts. Read that. Right. What's the date of the email?
September 19th, 2008.
2008.
Yes. It is saying, Shorty, you need a civil rights lawyer. I would suggest a couple of things. Number one, contacting Billy Murphy or Dwight Pettit because they have done national type cases. Number two, contact or send your DVD to C4 WBAL radio. Number three, contact the Justice Project in DC. Number four, contact Reverend Senator James Meeks. He's an Illinois state senator and a pastor in Chicago. I can tell you that I don't believe Lieutenant Governor Steele would be useful for the type of fight you are undertaking. My address is Reverend John A. Heath, 7725 Sandra Street, Houston, Texas, 77016.
All right. What's the next email?
This one is dated November 3rd, 2009.
Read the body of the email.
This says, Shellenberger should have done this in September 2008. Federal and state violations. Bank of America, SunTrust, and James Hammond conspired to defraud the government. Shellenberger said sue, and I am. My movie is coming out in spring 2010. And in between times, I'm going to show everyone, the public officials, individuals involved in the denial of due process, equal protection, and freedom of speech. This was an experiment into racism in our judicial system and the rights of the underclass. Contact Judge Turnbull, Attorney General McKee, and Officer Littleton of the Baltimore County Police Department. Shellenberger knowing permitted false charges to be filed against me in order to conceal Mr. Hammond and Jake Davis's illicit activities at the expense of my good name and character. They defrauded the state and federal government. With the knowledge and consent of our Attorney General and State's Attorney, I lost over $300,000 in gross revenue, mental and emotional distress. Shellenberger said sue, and that's just what I'm going to do. The Health Department, Bank of America, SunTrust Bank, and Brethren Insurance all have a role they played in my situation. I have everything on film. I was making a movie. James Hammond and Jake Davis signed a movie release. Their signature matches the signature of over $10,000 forged checks. Credit cards and catered events can be traced as well. and your States Attorney Schellenberger had all this information over 18 months ago. This is part of my documentary, so any other correspondence should be done by mail. I want everything in the eyes of the public. Ask Shellenberger about the 4,500 people that asked for the same thing. Been to see Governor O'Malley last Wednesday. He has a complete packet concerning my standings in the community, as well as a DVD. You need to see it. Shellenberger broke his copy. I have the originals, and I'm giving them away for free. My bucket list? Ask all the local TV stations. They are on and in the movie. Time to take a hard look at this situation. I'll be waiting a written reply. Have a blessed day. Ask Karen Parks from Fox 45 to show you the DVD and paperwork.
All right, read this part right here.
Yep.
What's that?
That's May 20th, 2008.
What does it say?
It says, Dear Sir or Madam, this letter is to verify that as of February 1st, 2008, Dwayne Davis, lessee of the Ridge County store, is indisposed indefinitely. His lease has now been assumed by Jarquise Davis, who has full rights and privileges of the existing lease. Should you have any questions or problems, feel free to contact me.
All right. They ain't got a right to my property. That's a check, right? Mm-hmm. What's the date of the check?
March 25th, 2008.
March 25th, 2008. That signature says, what's the name on that signature?
Dwayne G. Davis. See?
All right, I was locked up in another state. Oh, shit. I was locked up in another state. I didn't sign that check. I didn't get permission to Jake Davis to take over that lease. They should have sued me and filed for his own lease. He didn't have a right to sign my checks. Bank of America, SunTrust Bank, Paul Weinblatt, and the Attorney General got to deal with this. I filed criminal charges against Jake and all of them. I'm going to read that next. What is that case number?
It is 171-920-585.
All right. That's Paul Weinblatt. That's Peter Francott, right?
Yep.
Peter Francott and Paul Weinblatt got this. That's the case number in Baltimore County. That's been sitting in the courts for 2 years. That's been sitting in the courts for 2 years. That's the witness list. Want to read the witness list to the public?
All right.
What does that say right there?
This is from December 12th, 2012. Witness list. States Attorney Scott Shellenberger, Mr. Adam Lipp of the Office of State's Attorney, the Honorable Judge John Grayson Turnbull II, Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark, Council President Bernard Jack Young, Mr. Peter Franco, Comptroller, Mr. Paul Weinblatt, Ms. Patricia Cole, Bank of America, Baltimore County Police Chief James W. Johnson, Baltimore County Police Officer Littleton, Mr. Adam May, WJZ-TV, Mr. Christian Schaefer, WMR-TV, Mr. Barry Sims, WBAL-TV, the Honorable Chief Judge Robert Bell, Honorable Judge Michelle Pearson, Honorable Judge Marcella Holland, Mr. Frank Conaway, Mr. Greg L. Bernstein, the Office of State's Attorney, Mr. George Nilsson, Baltimore City Law Department, Councilman Robert Kern, Councilman Carl Stokes, Councilman William Henry.
Bill Henry and his father participated in this fraud. Brandon Scott participated in this fraud. Mosby is shielding the fraud. Continue. That's it.
Mr. Richard Scherer.
Mr. Richard Scherer. Richard Scherer did the first story of me in Hard Look. This is signed and dated. All right? Y'all been sitting on this for a long time. It's in the courts, so you can go follow this. This is in the courts. That's not my signature. I was locked up in another state. These are the emails. Now she's going to go to the right here. Because I had a $54 million lawsuit. It's red, white, and blue. All right? Read the red part. What's the case number?
It is 24C10009191.
All right? What's that? Who's that lawsuit against?
The state of Maryland, Illinois, Bank of America, Governor O'Malley, and
all right.
Comptroller.
And what's the date?
November 15th, 2010.
November 15th, 2010. That means that y'all locked me up to keep me from filing that $54 million lawsuit. I was taking your courts to court. What does that say?
That is the inmate number.
N62528. I was suing you on behalf of the inmates. You feel me? Bank of America, the money that you make. You kidnapped me from my home. from 1402 Lochner. Want to hold that book? Let me see. This is the civil case. Nah. Oh, that's the Attorney General Disciplinary Committee from Illinois. Read the lawyers that were involved in that.
That's Michael J. Waller, Karen Grace Levy, Kenneth W. LaRue.
All right. Now, those lawyers participated in fraud because you brought up the 86 case. Y'all charged me with terrorism twice in 2007. January 2007, you charged me with terrorism in January 2007 and December 2007. You held me for 186 days in Illinois. Then I came back to Maryland and you tried to violate me in my parole and my probation. You charged me with more crimes. Jake Davis, James Hammond charged me with some crimes. Y'all stole my property. You forged checks. Shellenberger had this information. Lippy had this information. Dwight Pettit had this information. Warren Brown had this information. The courts had this information, but you keep locking me up. You stole money from me. I'm an activist. So, like I said, she getting paid for this. Let me push some more pages on you. What's this say right here?
This one?
Oh, let me see. These are all motions to squash the subpoenas so that they didn't have to go to court. Right? Those are motions to squash the subpoenas?
Mm-hmm, yep.
What does this say right here?
That is February 28th, 2012, regarding your notice of intention to file suit.
All right, how can I sue if you keep blocking me access to the court? I can't sue if you blocking me access to the court. You feel me? And Mosby blocking me access to the grand jury because I asked to access the grand jury. I was kidnapped by the state. Brown know about it. Malcolm Ruff know about it. It's about racism 101. It's about your courts and the corruption in your courts. Potty training politicians. So on today's date, that's enough reading. You want to hold this up? I would ask her to put it on, but she ain't going to do that. Trump, no troops in Baltimore. Bring the Department of Justice and investigate the courts. If you want to make America great again, you got to address America's hate again. And America's hate is stealing black people from their families. It's slavery, 2020. You doing what President Taft did in the 1920s. Rebirth of a nation. You rebirthed in hate. I'm addressing this in the courts where you make money off of black bodies and black lives. Black lives matter when black money involved. Mike, check! That's my Malcolm X moment.